Took her a minute to get it going. Cheryl Reeve outcoached Stephanie White. It was a class act. I ain't going to lie to you. People say what they want. But Cheryl Reeve came into this thing with a game plan to disrupt Caitlin, and that's exactly what she did. That's why Olivia Mouse was able to do what she did. Now, with that being said, let's check out what Olivia Mouse had to say. Let's roll the footage right now. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the tribe. Like the video, hype the video. Until next time, man, let's check it out.
Here with Cheryl was sort of about just the historic nature of the scoring across the league this year. When you think
Olivia Miles stood at the podium and didn't downplay how well she had played against the Indiana Fever. It's a known pattern that whenever teams face the Fever, with Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham on the floor, that matchup turns into the other team's biggest test of the year. This game followed that exact script. Stephanie White had no real solution for Olivia Miles. Miles played like a superstar out there. She was pulling up from way beyond the arc, and she was slicing to the basket without any resistance. There were no double teams thrown at her, no full court pressure until very late in the game.
you think about all the offenses you've played with, what about this offense makes it unique that you can go out there and outscore not just the highest scoring team in the league, but in league history as it tracks now?
I mean, I think it's just the foundation that we had in place since training camp. Honestly, since I've been here, it's moving the ball, and whatever is the best shot is the shot that we take. We all confident in each other, so if Liv putting it up, Tosh, like whoever it is putting it up.
When the Fever finally put Raven Johnson on her, Miles torched her too. Then they switched Kelsey onto her, and the same thing happened. White should have walked into this matchup with a real strategy built around Miles. She needed some kind of defensive plan to keep this player from getting off unlimited shots. Compare that to what Cheryl Reeve prepared for Caitlin Clark. Clark did eventually find her rhythm and finished with a double-double, but she needed time to warm up. Reeve simply out-strategized White in this one. That's the honest truth, no matter what anyone else says. Reeve walked in with a clear scheme to throw off Clark's game, and it worked exactly as planned. That opening is part of why Miles had so much room to operate. Here's what Olivia Miles said afterward.
We all confident in each other, so if Liv putting it up, Tosh, like whoever it is putting it up, we confident in that. So I think just staying confident and, like I said, Cheryl, them just having a blueprint.
And then, Liv, your first time playing against the Fever, I mean, I think maybe there were mention on the broadcast about just the defensive assignment you had. I mean, what was it like, you know, on that side of the ball facing up against a team like that?
It's tough. I mean, Kelsey Mitchell is legit one of the best basketball players I think I've ever seen. And her ability to just move you and catch you off guard so quickly, and her misdirection is insane. So,
Asked about the historic scoring numbers happening across the league this season, and what makes this particular offense so special compared to others, the response focused on the system built since training camp. The philosophy has been simple: move the ball, and whoever has the best look takes the shot. There's trust across the roster, so whether it's Miles firing away or a teammate like Tash, the group backs that decision. Staying confident and following the game plan laid out by the coaching staff has been the key.
and her misdirection is insane. So it's hard to not be a fan in those moments because obviously we're competing against each other. But yeah, definitely a tough defensive assignment, and it takes a team, to defend the Fever for sure.
You've talked about it a couple times, just the environment and Target Center. What was it like out there playing in front of 16,500 people?
Yeah, special. It was weird, hearing fans cheer when the other team scored, and that's what I knew. A majority of the fans were Fever fans, but also like.
On facing the Fever for the first time and drawing a tough defensive assignment, Miles admitted it was a real challenge. Kelsey Mitchell was described as maybe the best player she's ever gone against, someone whose quickness and ability to fake you out is remarkable. It made it hard not to admire her even while competing against her. Guarding the Fever, she said, takes a full team effort.
And that's what I knew. A majority of the fans were Fever fans, but also like when we would score, it was really loud as well. So both ways, there was cheering for both baskets, and it was just loud in there. So that energy it's what you want as a basketball player, to go out there and compete and hear fans into it on both sides. And I'm just glad we got it done. So.
Also, just wanted to ask you about Court. She hit some clutch shots coming down the stretch. Defense on Mitchell in the second half was pretty darn good. Just what's it like when Court's playing this way?
Oh, it's so fun. She's literally
Asked about playing in front of over 16,000 fans at Target Center, Miles called the atmosphere special, though a little strange since most of the crowd was cheering for the opposing team. But when her own team scored, the building got just as loud. That kind of energy from both sides is exactly what a player wants when competing, and she was relieved they came away with the win.
fun. She's literally such a role model for me. I love her so much. I'm serious. Like, she is so special to me because she's allowed me to be me, and watching her flourish and watching her be so selfless for this team, whatever, we need is so special. And, when she has her moments and she's jab stepping and getting to her pull up and getting to her spots, I'm like, it's different. Like, she's different out there. So it's just fun as a teammate and as a fan to watch her hoop. And I know she probably feels the same about me, but yeah, that's my.
Questioned about a teammate's clutch late-game shooting and strong defensive work on Mitchell in the second half, Miles lit up describing how much fun it is to watch. She called that teammate a personal role model, someone she deeply admires for letting her be herself and for playing such an unselfish role on the team. Watching her get into her rhythm, using jab steps, and getting to her favorite spots makes her look like a completely different player. Watching her compete is a joy both as a teammate and as a fan, and the feeling is likely mutual. There was a lighter moment about walkout music, with some confusion over whether a certain song had actually played, followed by laughter and jokes about needing to pay closer attention next time.
So it's just fun as a teammate and as a fan to watch her hoop. And I know she probably feels the same about me, but yeah, that's my girl. Sure. Which one?
Let me cook by.
For what? Oh, do they play that?
Yeah, they play Glow.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
Every
We'd be
time you
so
make a
locked in,
basket.
I'd be like,
I know they played that.
I didn't know they played that.
they played
Wow,
that either.
no.
That's crazy.
That's tough.
That
I
is
like I'll listen for it next time.
no cap.
So this question is for both of you two. How do y'all
Both players were then asked how they stay composed when a big lead shrinks quickly, as happened when a large advantage was cut down to just 2 points. The answer pointed to the team's veteran leadership emphasizing composure, understanding that basketball naturally comes in runs, and trusting that their own scoring run would eventually come too. The key was staying confident and not getting rattled.
How do y'all stay grounded when the team is going on a run, right? We had this huge lead, and then all of a sudden they bring it into 2 points. What do you two say to each other in the huddle or the team to get y'all back in the rhythm and close out games?
That's on the vets.
Yeah, I think just keep our composure, right? We understand that basketball is a game of runs, and it's a great team. So we knew we wasn't going to close them out. So I think just staying confident, not getting wavered by them going on a run, just staying locked in on what it is we know we need to do, and knowing that our run is coming up.
One player was asked about facing her friend Caitlin Clark, whose shoes she'd worn during All-Star Weekend, and what it felt like to deliver the dagger shot late in the game. She got emotional describing the friendship, joking that Clark had asked why she wasn't wearing her shoes that night, to which she replied she couldn't wear a friend's shoes while playing against her. She emphasized there was no real trash talk, just mutual respect and friendly competition between great players.
My girl though, hey, K Mitch, my girl too. Man, just great players, man. It don't be like no negative trash talk. It's all just fun and games, but that's my girl, man. She asked me why I ain't wear her shoes. I'm like, come on, bro. I can't wear your shoes against you.
So Courtney Williams showing love. Shout out to Courtney Williams, stud, but she had a hell of a game, man. 27 points. She did her thing. She's one of the very few people who have not been a Caitlin Clark hater.
Miles was then asked about her extended back-and-forth battle with Kelsey Mitchell, and whether anything had been said between them during the intense exchanges. She explained that nothing negative happened. She genuinely admires Mitchell both as a player and as a person, someone who commands respect on and off the court. During the game, she jokingly asked Mitchell what she'd eaten that morning to play so well, and Mitchell laughed and told her to stay inspired and keep growing the sport. Moments like that, sharing mutual respect mid-competition, are what make these matchups special, trading tough shot for tough shot down the stretch.
Few people who have not been a Caitlin Clark hater. So she hasn't been a Caitlin Clark hater, so I'm always going to show love to Courtney Williams. Okay. Also, I want to get to what some Olivia Miles comments that she had, and then we'll jump into Cheryl Reeves as well.
So if Liv putting it up, Tosh, like whoever.
Defensive assignment you had. I mean, what was it like, on that side of the ball facing up against a team like that?
It's tough. I mean, Kelsey Mitchell is legit one of the best basketball players I think I've ever seen. And her ability to
Miles also reached a franchise milestone, becoming the 10th player in team history this season to record 20 points and 5 assists in a game, surpassing Maya Moore's single-season record from 2015, and she'd done it before halftime. Asked whether hearing about these records weekly felt normal by now, she called it a special and humbling experience, especially given the franchise's history of great guards. She named Maya Moore as one of her favorite players growing up. She said it's a grounding reminder to stay grateful for the opportunity, but stressed that winning as a team matters most, and these individual achievements are a sign of good things ahead this season.
I mean, Kelsey Mitchell is legit one of the best basketball players I think I've ever seen. And her ability to just move you and catch you off guard so quickly, and her misdirection is insane. So it's hard to not be a fan in those moments because obviously we're competing against each other. But yeah, definitely a tough defensive assignment, and it takes a team, to defend the Fever for sure.
So you got Olivia, you got Courtney Williams showing love to Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell. You got Olivia Miles letting it be known how hard Kelsey Mitchell was for her to guard. Olivia Miles didn't guard Caitlin Clark today, so it's not like she's jabbing at Caitlin Clark.
The Minnesota Lynx took care of business against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and the bigger talking point came after the final buzzer, when Courtney Williams and Cheryl Reeves spoke alongside Olivia Miles about Clark and the Fever. Williams made it clear that Clark is a real problem to guard, while Reeve pointed out that Indiana's offense as a whole gives opponents fits. Since this was the first matchup between the two squads, both sides admitted it was a feeling-out process, and everyone agreed the next meeting will be another battle. Williams didn't hold back her...
Olivia Miles didn't guard Caitlin Clark today, so it's not like she's jabbing at Caitlin Clark. She didn't guard her at all. I think Caitlin guarded Olivia Miles maybe one play, and Olivia Miles missed the 3, but they didn't guard each other. Olivia Miles was dealing with Kelsey Mitchell, stuff like that. Kayla McBride was the one guarding Caitlin Clark, so... again, just a ton of respect between all of them for each other. Caitlin Clark and them also showed respect to Olivia Miles and Courtney Williams as well. Let's get into what Cheryl Reeve had to say.
Sort of thing, and offense definitely.
On such a front foot.
Yeah, it was exactly what I expected.
Williams put together a strong performance herself, finishing with 28 points and 7 assists, numbers referenced loosely. She's remained one of the few players who has never spoken negatively about Clark, which is worth noting, given how much criticism the young guard usually draws. Olivia Miles was also asked about her defensive assignment for the night. It's tough. I mean, Kelsey Mitchell is legit one of the best basketball players I think I've ever seen. And her ability to just move you and catch you off guard so quickly. And her misdirection is insane. So, it's hard to not be a fan in those moments, because obviously we're competing against each other. But yeah, definitely a tough defensive assignment. And it takes a team, to defend the Fever for sure.
On such a front foot.
Yeah, it was exactly what I expected. Two teams, like we are in August, it's August 1st, and we haven't seen each other yet. So first time playing each other. So there's a bit of a feeling out, sort of thing. And offense definitely, had their way with each of the team's defenses. Certainly knew it probably wasn't going to be sustained, and it wasn't. But, we were hoping at some point our defense could be a separator. I think the hustle plays, possessions on the glass.
Interestingly, Miles wasn't the one guarding Clark during the game. That assignment belonged to Kayla McBride. Clark reportedly guarded Miles on just one possession, which resulted in a missed 3. Miles instead spent her night matched up against Kelsey Mitchell. Despite the competitive setting, there appeared to be plenty of mutual respect between both rosters. Reeve then broke down how the game unfolded from a coaching perspective. Yeah, it was exactly what I expected. Two teams, like we are in August. It's August 1st and we haven't seen each other yet. So, first time playing each other. So there's a bit of a feeling out, sort of thing. And offense definitely, had their way, with each of the teams, defenses. Certainly knew it probably wasn't going to be sustained, and it wasn't. But, we were hoping at some point our defense could be a separator. I like the hustle plays, possessions on the glass, things like that. And then we didn't necessarily.
Our defense could be a separator. I think the hustle plays, possessions on the glass, things like that. I mean, we didn't necessarily.
The hustle plays is definitely where the Indiana Fever lost the ball. The first half, the defense was atrocious, letting Olivia Miles do whatever she wanted. It took Stephanie White, that idiot, way too long to double and blitz and get the dribble picked up by Olivia Miles, blitzing her, getting the ball out of her hands. It took her too long to make that adjustment. When they finally made the adjustment, they started getting defensive stops, but
those hustle plays turned out to be the deciding factor. Indiana's defense struggled badly in the first half, allowing Miles to operate freely. Head coach Stephanie White was slow to send extra defenders and disrupt her dribble, and by the time Indiana adjusted and started forcing stops, they couldn't finish possessions. Offensive rebounds, tipped balls, and loose ball battles kept going Minnesota's way, which is exactly what kept the Lynx in control. Reeve continued, reflecting on the overall performance. Obviously, get one player get 37. That's not great. Field goal percentage not great, right? So we're not happy with it. But we felt like we had to really fight to win. And I'm glad we did that. And the next time we play them, each team's going to have a lot more information.
The adjustment, they started getting defensive stops, but the hustle plays that Cheryl Reeve just brought up saved the Minnesota Lynx because the Indiana Fever, when they finally got stops, weren't finishing the possessions with rebounds. They was giving up offensive rebound after offensive rebound, tip out, loose balls. They just couldn't close out possessions because of the hustle plays, as Cheryl Reeve just said.
Obviously, you have one player get 37. That's not great. Field goal percentages, not great, right? So we're not happy with it, but we felt like we had to really fight.
She was then asked about the ebb and flow of hot streaks throughout the contest. Yeah, I mean, so when a player scores 23 by half, that's all we talked about. That's when we knew that there was going to be greater challenges. We felt some of it towards the end of the second quarter, so we had a sense going into the third. I didn't think we handled it as well as we wanted to. There was times that we did. But I think a willingness to get off of it or do different things, not to put yourself in the heat, where they had us, and then, when Liv was out, we've got a really good player in Fee that needed to get those touches, and she made the most of them, and this showed just how much depth Minnesota has. Once Miles was pressured into foul trouble, Nafisa Collier, widely considered one of the top 2 or 3 players in the league, took over scoring duties, and Williams followed with her own hot stretch. Even with McBride having an off shooting night, the Lynx still had more than enough scoring options to overwhelm Indiana. It's a roster that figures to be a tough matchup for any opponent over a multi-game series.
We felt like we had to really fight to win, and glad we did that. And the next time we play them, each team is going to have a lot more information.
And then, in this game in particular, kind of felt like play got going in the first half. He kind of comes up there in the third. Courtney, I guess, towards the end. I mean, how much of that do you get a sense of players that are trying to find the hot hand? Or I don't know, just what do you make of those patterns?
Yeah, I mean, so when a player scores 23 by half, that's all we talked about was we knew that there was going to be.
Reeve praised Williams for her steadiness throughout the night, then turned her attention to reserve guard Maya's impact off the bench. Yeah, exactly what you saw. When she comes in, obviously look a little different offensively, but there's a 4. The players that were, starting and that she's coming in for, or maybe a chance for Mac to guard somebody different for a little bit. She gives us a lot of flexibility. Incredibly valuable. The extra possessions. I can't understate what it does for our team. And Muria has really captured that and said, okay, this is what I need to be for this team. And she does it consistently for us, night in and night out. Reeve was also asked about a pre-game conversation with Sophie Cunningham and the atmosphere surrounding the game. Huge deal. And again, those are things that are differentiating winning. I would say, expect this crowd to be a little more because of the proximity to Iowa and the fan base. There is definitely an energy in the building. You could feel. And then so for players, you know Incree. It's no secret that Clark's fanbase travels in large numbers, effectively turning road games into home crowds for the Fever star. Reeve closed out her comments by praising Miles specifically. Really exciting. You know, Olivia Miles, imagine being Olivia Miles as a rookie and coming in and everything's verse. There's a lot on her shoulders. And when things go well, it's a lot of fun. And chaked. And then when she had moments in the game where it's a little tougher, her ability to just kind of fight through different schemes and attention that she's getting, and the clutch play that she made, the 3-point play to sort of put us in better position to finish out the game. That maturity, as a rookie is very, very impressive. Overall, Miles turned in an impressive performance in what many view as a matchup between the league's top overall team and one of its most dangerous offensive units. Indiana's shortcomings on defense and the boards remain the difference maker, but both Williams and Miles had plenty of respect to share for the Fever backcourt.